Hi everyone. In light of the fact that the JRCERT is coming to visit us tomorrow and Friday, I wanted to give you a little bit of information on exactly what the JRCERT does and why it's important to have them accrediting our program. So the basis of accreditation is the process of voluntary external peer review in which a non-governmental agency grants public recognition to an institution or specialized program of study that meets specific qualifications. Now, MTI is actually accredited by two mechanisms. The first one is an institutional accreditation, and the school itself is accredited by the Higher Learning Commission of the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools. This accrediting body is what allows students to receive financial aid, amongst other things. What we have chosen to do for our program, it's a voluntary process. We have chosen to be part of the Joint Review Committee on Education in Radiologic Technology accreditation process, and this is a program or programmatic accreditation. So there is a difference in the two types of program and institutional accreditation. I want to talk more about the JRCERT and less about the HLC because we're obviously going through our site visit this week. The Joint Review Committee on Education and Radiologic Technology is the only agency that's qualified to accredit programs in radiation therapy. And what they do is to ensure programs like ours meet minimum professional curriculum standards developed by the ASRT. So the ASRT is the body that develops the curriculum for not only radiation therapy, but radiologic technology, nuclear medicine, I believe, and MRI, those radiologic sciences programs. So what happens is the JRCERT is a peer review system, and these peer review people, like the site visit team that's coming in this week, are formally educated individuals in the accreditation process that are part of the Radiation Therapy Committee. So the two ladies that are visiting with us this week both come from radiation therapy programs. They're both program directors, just like I am. And with the JRCERT, they develop a list of standards that we have to follow or abide by in order to receive accreditation. So the standards for accredited educational program in radiologic sciences are directed at the assessment of program outcomes and student outcomes. And we use these standards or the goals of the accreditation process in order to measure our program outcomes and our student outcomes. And we do this because we want to stimulate programmatic improvement. So we're doing this because we want to ensure that we're offering a well-rounded program that is following that ASRT curriculum. And we do it to provide protective measures for federal funding or financial aid. Now, the JRC is not our gatekeeper, so to speak, for financial aid, but for hospital-based programs, generally the JRCERT is the gatekeeper for financial aid. And mostly, JRCERT is there to promote academic excellence. So there are 6 standards that we have to write narratives about and prove that we are meeting. And you can find these in my next slide. I have links to the complete document of standards and some of our student learning outcomes in our assessment plan. So standard 1 has to deal with integrity. 2, resources for the school itself. 3 is curriculum and academic practices. 4 is health and safety. Standard 5 is assessment, and Standard 6 is institutional and programmatic data. And I really would like you to check these links out that I have listed in here in this PowerPoint, and I will also put this into our intro program or our intro resources. So if you want to take a look at goals and student learning outcomes, these are all can be actually found on our website. I want you to click on this link here. Our assessment plan, which matches our goals, is also on the radiation therapy website. And then the complete document of standards can be found on the JRCERT website. And I would encourage you guys to go out and look at the JRCERT website. And please make sure that you take a look at these links that I have here. I don't know if I can, I'll try to follow these links within this recording, see if we can see them. But of course that's probably not. Let's first take a look at our goals or our student outcomes. So our goals, we have 5 of them. The first goal is that students will demonstrate competency in the clinical setting. And these are our measures. Students demonstrate proper simulation and treatment planning skills as prescribed by the radiation oncologist. Students will demonstrate competency in treatment delivery. Students will demonstrate principles of radiation delivery. Goal 2 is students will think critically. Our measures are students demonstrate good judgment and decision making in the clinical setting. Students recognize discrepancies and develop solutions to clinical situations. Goal 3, students will communicate effectively. Students demonstrate effective written communication skills and they demonstrate oral communication skills. Goal 4 is students will demonstrate professional attitudes, behaviors, growth, and ethics. Measures are students conduct themselves in an ethical and professional manner. Students work effectively with supervisory personnel. Students participate in a minimum of 1 local, state, or national seminar. Goal 5 is that the students will become registered radiation therapists employed in their field. And we want you to graduate. Graduates will pass the ART exam. Graduates will perform as entry-level therapists, and graduates seeking employment will find employment within 12 months of graduation. So all of these measures, we have tools that we submit that support those goals. And I'm going to scroll down here just a little bit more. Oops, sorry. I'm going to go back over here to accreditation. And I'm going to scroll down. And we'll look at some of our effectiveness data. And these are some 5-year averages. So you can see that our pass rates over a 5-year period, we had 24 candidates that took the exam and 22 passed on the first time. So our percentage pass rate is 92%. Our 5-year program completion rate in radiation therapy is 100%. 24 people started and 24 people finished. The 5-year average placement rate for radiation therapy program graduates is 77%. 22 were seeking employment and 17 were employed within radiation therapy field. Now you'll notice that on our front of our program page it does say 100% placement rate, but that is for the most current year. So don't confuse that with the 5-year placement rate. So another thing I want to show you is, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it very well, and you may have to take a look at this yourself, is to look at our assessment plan. So these are the, I showed you the goals. And I'm just going to show you a snippet of these goals. So we looked at the goals earlier. So students will demonstrate competency in the clinical setting. And these are the tools that we use to measure those outcomes and whether we met the benchmarks or not. And I'm going to scroll down to goal 3, and you can see here that our goal 3 is students will communicate effectively, and the outcome is that students will demonstrate effective written communication and oral communication skills. Now these are the assessment tools that I use to measure the students by, and this is the benchmark that I've set for the program, and we are running just shy of that benchmark. So we have put tools in place when the JRCERT comes to visit us. We have put tools in place to tell them how we are going to try to get that result up to our benchmark. And one of the things that we're going to do is increase that to a 5-year average, because if we have small class sizes and only maybe 1 or 2 students didn't meet this 90%, that's going to drop our average drastically. So we're looking at doing a 5-year average, which gives us a more clear picture of how we are meeting that benchmark. And that's really, all I really wanted to talk about this evening. I hope this was helpful for your visit with the site team on Friday.